All right, hello everybody out there on YouTube. This is Blue Harvest talking about Star Wars today. My name is Anthony.
I'm Jesse.
All right, we have a brand new trailer for Rogue One that just dropped, and tons and tons of new footage is in it.
Well, first off, I thought the final trailer we're expecting is before Doctor Strange. Is this the trailer before Doctor Strange because those Marvel month early screenings are going on right now? Because early reviews are starting to come out about Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think this was initially supposed to drop with the Doctor Strange movie. I don't know why they moved it up.
Interesting. So it's tough if this is the last trailer we get, because I was really hoping to see a touch more. Maybe they'll touch it up or change a little bit for the Doctor Strange movie. But if this is our last trailer, what did you pull out of it? What did you see that was new and different?
Well, for starters, the whole flashback with Jin.
So younger Jin.
Yeah, I mean that
scene where it looks like Krennic leading these death troopers towards a farm or
I wonder if this is because in the Catalyst synopsis it talks about how he saved the Erso family from the Separatists. I'm wondering if this is that, or if this is him coming to call in the favor.
I see. I think asking that question's a bit nitpicky. I think you're right. I think it's one of those two.
Well, that's what I mean. But
I think definitely this flashback is going to be used for everyone who doesn't read the book.
Sure.
This is
this is going to be pretty much a 30-second hit. This is why we are where we are. Yeah, but I'm curious as to whether this is.
Do you think it'll actually be a dream in prison? Because that's what it kind of looked like.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Okay.
I think it's just going to be her.
I feel like that's a method of storytelling that they use a lot in trailers to add an additional cut that might not be there. She wakes up in prison. Right. So obviously then we get time passes. We see this older Jen in prison. We've seen that a little bit before, but it's a little new in that it seems like her real first interaction with the rebels might be being broken out of prison.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. She's looks totally oblivious to them coming to get her, and when they're sitting there and they're kind of giving her the lowdown, she looks pretty oblivious to who they are and what any of this has to do.
So do you think they went in there knowing to get her, or to just
somehow
accidentally?
Another,
yeah.
No, I think they went there with a specific purpose. Looks like, and one thing that this could be is, like we've seen in Rebels Season 2 with the whole Leia thing, there were people that were involved in the beginning of the rebellion, but were technically still, employers of the Empire, so to speak. So maybe they got word, we got this girl, whatever.
I could see that. I could see that being... And it's always interesting seeing the Rebels recruit, because you never really saw any of that in the original trilogy. You've never really seen...
Mm-hmm. Everybody was already where they were.
I guess Han Solo is the only real recruit-ish rebellion thing you kind of see through the trilogy. But
and I mean, that was kind of he got sucked into it by default.
Right. So, all right, so we have the prison break, and then you have that large cutaway shot of the Jedi temple carved in the mountain.
Oh, that looked freaking amazing. At first, I thought that was a statue that got tumbled, but after watching a couple more times, that's definitely a mountain that got... carved out,
carved like that, yeah,
and it looked awesome. Visually, this trailer, with the opening scene of the beach, and then the Krennic.
Is that what is it? Jeddah? Is that where they're? You think that Jedi temple is?
I think that's where. I think that's that scene where they're flying in on that whole. Orangey red, deserty.
I mean, I hope this is the only Jedi outside of Vader we see in the movie. I really do not need to see any lightsabers.
I would be absolutely shocked if we saw anybody else with a lightsaber. I'd be shocked.
I wouldn't be though, because think of all the Star Wars stuff that has the lightsaber now. It's not. I mean, all the Clone Wars is lightsaber. All of the prequel trilogy is lightsaber fights. Like, it would be. I mean, think about it. It would be the first time they actually try to release a Star Wars centric, like, significant release, and they don't use the iconic laser sword unless you're getting a lot of it with Vader.
Well, I think that's where it's going to be. It's going to be. I would be shocked if there was anybody with a non-red lightsaber.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked. I think the only lightsaber we're going to get is going to be Vader. I think we're going to get Vader, like, he's going to be that menacing force until the third act or whatever, and it's going to be him. It's probably going to be one of them things like
he shows up and cuts them all down.
Yeah, like the meeting with him and Krennic. He's probably going to find out, they took we need to bring in the muscle. Come here.
Right.
And then he's going to go do his thing or something like that. Or maybe he is where some of these battles are taking place and he goes on a, tear. I don't think he's probably going to have more than 10 or 15 minutes worth of screen time.
That's a lot of movie. It might not be a central villain. It might be some unique storytelling. But
if you think
Star
about
Wars.
A New Hope, all right, we see Vader. He comes in when they get Leia's ship. We see him when he's extracting info out of him. All this other stuff is happening, and then we don't even really see Vader again until he's like, "Oh, I feel something," and then the Obi-Wan fight.
Yeah,
and we don't get a lot of Vader in it, and he's pretty much like this menacing.
Right, and you are jumping in at something that's clearly already happening. The Blockade's rudder is running from the Imperial Star Destroyer. Fair points. So, bringing up the original trilogy, so who'd we see in this trailer that...
Well, when they're sitting there and the Black Lady's talking and they're like, if the Empire's got this, we don't stand a chance. In that whole circle, two over to the right, you'll see Jen Erso's, her back. Two over to the right, kind of tucked back, is Jimmy Smits. So we get Bail Organa. And, I mean, like we said before, how weird would this be without him in it?
Right, because he's so central to the rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, the two people, him and Mon Mothma, if they ain't there, this movie doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right, you're not really connected. Yeah. Your timeline doesn't work.
And you know what? If you kind of look at some of those, you got that whole big round table, and there's all these people in there. And a lot of the Rogue One characters, they're kind of tucked in there too. But there's a lot of different... These people are dressed differently. They look differently. There's lots of little splinter cells that have merged onto this one area to have this powwow of this is what we need to do.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean that makes sense, and it also would refer to if the Empire had this kind of power, recruiting would be extremely difficult because any planet that made significant moves against the Empire could just be silenced.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's going to be an interesting political angle to the film.
Yeah.
But after that discussion, you get the what just screamed Guardians of the Galaxy pep rally moment of oh, the Force is strong, it is our time, egg shen, potion, 10 men feel like 100. It just you get that little pep talk to the suicide mission, and then you get that wonderful what is that, the cyborg man?
Oh, Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, him giving the save the rebellion, save the dream.
Yeah,
definitely getting like squished or killed at the as he's.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that might be his last words.
Well, I mean, so it's an interesting trailer. Just do a little more if you want some more Star Wars right now. Go check out the Kylo Ren reacts video.
I'll put a link in the description. They're good.
The second one's way better than the first, and the humor isn't always on point. But the idea of Kylo Ren or someone in a Kylo Ren mask sitting there and doing trailer reaction videos is hilarious. Yeah. So, big shout out to him. Great concept. If you need more Star Wars, check it out.
I think it was probably Tarkin that was in there. We saw the back of his head. When they're walking in, he's kind of walking in, and everybody's kind of like parted off to the sides. He's going in there like walking with a purpose. I would say they didn't show that guy's face for a reason. I think that's probably Tarkin.
Well, and here's the thing: how do you show that face unless it's aged properly? Because you run into the problem you're having with the X-Men movies, where Professor X, even after Apocalypse, needs to age about 50 years in the span of 20.
Yeah.
So.
I could live with that either way. I mean, if it's...
Well, I'm just happy to see more from the connective tissue from episode 4.
And like we had said, same thing with like Bail Organa not being in this, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I think we've got the Death Star. If Tarkin isn't even here somewhere, this is going to seem like really, really odd.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, any other thoughts on the trailer?
All in all, like, I really liked it a lot. I thought it definitely gave us a bit more vision. I mean, we know where this is ending, but it gave us a lot more of a vision of kind of like the pathway they're going to get to the end. Liked it a lot. Visually, like the jungle scenes, the beach scene.
Yeah, like, the early dark, the open with it, it's reversed. It's not the Death Troopers are all black. And there's a white central figure in Krennic, and that's just a complete flip of Darth Vader being black and the stormtroopers all being white. Yeah. Visually the trailer really works. It really grabs you.
Like the scene, like just the landscapes and stuff being so different than what we've been accustomed to so far. I thought all of that really looked nice. I did like the space battles. So that we're gonna. That was another thing we didn't really get that in The Force Awakens. There was a lot of inside of the planet hemisphere battles, but it's kind of cool. Now we're going to be out in space again. I like seeing that. I think that probably ties in a lot more to what we're accustomed to with A New Hope.
Yeah, I always need that in Star Wars. I mean, that's such a gigantic draw is the fighter pilot X-wing and the lightsaber. That's
if you don't have TIE
stuff.
fighters and X-wings fighting each other and going through the space and you don't have some lightsaber clashes, those are the things that make it Star Wars. I agree totally.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Our new episode for the next episode of Rebels will be up shortly for Hera's Heroes. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video, help us get out there. And thanks again, guys. May the Force be with you.
All right.